Hello, I'm Ishani and welcome to my YouTube channel, Quillish. With the Christmas season approaching, today I'm sharing a clean and simple card with a digital image by a company called The Paper Shelter. I've been using digital images since past few years and I think they're amazing to work with. I'm linking on the top few of my previous video tutorials using digital images. Hope you'll have a look. I love clean and simple style of card making. And I follow less is more even in my daily life. So a card like this is one of my most preferred style. For this card, I start by printing out the digital image on my Nina 110 pound paper, and I have a tutorial on how I print my images that I'll link up here in case you're not familiar with DGs. The print has come at one corner of the A4 size sheet, which is perfect for even one layer card. But I will have a separate base as I will do Copic coloring and it tends to bleed and would look better if mounted on a card base. I will show you how I color with the normal space speed for coloring of the hat and then I'll speed up for the rest of the image. I am taking blue greens in BG13, BG32, BG11 and BG000 for the hat. I start with the darkest shade, which is BG13, and my image already has few marks for the folds, which will be the darkest, so I go over them and also at the places in the hat where I think there can be shadows. Then I use my medium color, which is BG32 over BG13 to soften it and at places which wouldn't be part of the highlights. Then with BG11, I go over the same areas to have a transition between the shadows and the highlights. I'm not a professional in Copic coloring and I recently started Copic coloring. And I'm still adding to my collection, so I don't even have all the colors which are recommended by the certified artists. I just go through my stash and look for minimum 2 shades, a dark and a light, and if in case I have more, I use them all. I have a few white areas left and I go over my shadows again with BG32. And then with BG11. These mint aqua shades have become my favorite and I use them quite often. And I love pairing them with pink, which will be the other color that I use for the scarf of the snowman. Then with BG000, I go over the whole hat. Now that I had my highlights also done, I thought I'll just give a little more touch of BG11. So it is a point where you are satisfied. And BG13 for the darkest of my crooks. For completing the hat, I wanted the bauble and the bottom part of the hat, I don't know what it's called, but I wanted them to look white as if they were made of fur. Fur of course. So I take B00 and B000 for doing some soft shadows on it. Like the previous coloring, I use the darker shade, that is B00, at the marks which are already there on my image and I soften it with B000. Then with the colorless blender, though it does not blend, but it does pick up the color. So because I thought that I've put a little more color on that area, I remove some color from the bottom part of the hat with the colorless blender. Similarly, I do the bauble with B00 and B000. I find coloring very therapeutic. But for those of you who are not much into coloring, I'll speed up the coloring now. For the scarf, I'm using 3 colors of pinks. The darkest shade is RV13 for the darker shadow areas. I use a lighter color which is RV02 over the same RV13 dark nooks. Again a touch of darkest RV13. And I go over with my RV010 and then a little touch of RV13 again. Similarly, I will do the rest of the scarf with the 3 colors that I've just mentioned. I'm sorry I'm not showing all the colors. I am not yet habituated of keeping the cap upside down for you to see the name of the color. I would do it more diligently next time. For the nose, I use Y19, Y15 and Y13. The Y19 at the bottom and Y13 on the top right side. For the buttons, which are rocks, I mix some grey and browns, N4, E18 and N2 to color them. For the body of the snowman, I use B00 and B000 for the shadows and to give him a spherical appearance. B00 for under the scarf where there would be darker shadows. And I use colorless blender to pick up the colors where I feel it should be a little lighter. The same thing I do for the face. And I use N0 for some soft shadows on the snow. I cut out the panel with the Sizzix dotted framelits, and though it's quite green and simple, I thought of getting a little more interest by creating a little scene. I plan to make a snowbank, and I'm taking a masking paper and cut snowbank and position my snowman on the snowbank. With the light blue ink, I'm using Tubby Craft's aqua blue ink. I blend just a little ink behind the mask. All the products that I'm using here are linked in the description box below. For finishing off the panel, I take a stamp by Art Impressions called Warm Wishes and stamp with the VersaFine Onyx Black ink. Just for a little more interest, I use glossy accents on the nose of my snowman. And I take a pre-folded dotted A2 sized side folding note card, and with the 3D tape I stick my front panel onto the card base. And here is a clean and simple card which I hope you will like. I hope you will give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for stopping by and have a lovely week ahead.